Well, thank you very much. I am also the Minister responsible for infrastructure in the Northwest Territories, and I'd like to welcome you to this pan-territorial permafrost workshop. Your presence and your participation here speaks to the challenge that permafrost and other climate change effects pose to our governments, our communities, our residents, as well as our wildlife and environment. And being from the Mackenzie Delta, I see the effects firsthand. You've heard Michael talk about Willow River, and I've spent a lot of time up there. I travel throughout the Mackenzie Delta, and you can see it in the Delta where the sides of the river are falling in, and that's an effect of climate change. And I think we're November, 5th today, and it's still, I don't think it's frozen over in Inuvik yet. And normally we would freeze in by about the middle of October, so I think there's another effect there. So it's a challenge to all of us. Permafrost lies under approximately half the landmass in Canada and a significant portion of our 3 territories. In the past, it has served as a capable foundation on which we built our roadways, our infrastructure, and communities. However, as we well know, it is very susceptible to change in temperature. Mitigation programs are one way that the government in the Northwest Territories are taking on these challenges. Programs such as the Capital Asset Retrofit Fund delivers programs ranging from energy-efficient lighting and building envelope upgrades to heating and ventilation system replacements. Through these projects, we are reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, lessening our environmental footprint, and creating substantial savings by reducing the cost of utilities. Forward thinking by our government has earmarked these savings to fund future energy conservation projects, which will eventually make the Capital Asset Retrofit Program self-sustaining. Warming temperatures also affect the permafrost that underlies much of the infrastructure in the NWT. These changes cause the ground to heave and slump in some areas, and Michael gave a couple of examples of that, Nuvik Airport runway being one of them, damaging transportation infrastructure, including roads, airport runways, and bridges. With such a large landmass in 33 communities, the 2,200 kilometers of all-weather roads and over 1,400 kilometers of winter roads that connect our communities are essential supply routes linking our territory to the rest of Canada. With such a small highway system serving such an important role, permafrost degradation poses a huge threat. To address this, we are using engineering solutions such as thermistors, thermal modeling, insulation, and thermosiphons to protect permafrost underlying our infrastructure. These solutions are being employed extensively within the design of the new Inuvik to Tuktoyaktuk Highway, which crosses 137 kilometers of previously undisturbed, ice-rich permafrost terrain. Beyond transportation, infrastructure, and other government assets, the Northwest Territories Housing Corporation, and we have a number of staff members here today responsible for infrastructure, we're responsible for 2,700 units that are impacted by permafrost. Along with the mitigation measures adopted by the Capital Asset Retrofit Fund program, the Northwest Territories Housing Corporation has been implementing alternative energy technologies, including biomass and solar panels, in its multi-unit facilities. While we have seen the value of these mitigation programs and will continue to support them, we must go beyond mitigation and adapt. As a result, our government has placed a focus on research and development to help support new technologies and engineering solutions to better understand how our infrastructure will fare as the climate changes. Northern-based standards such as the Good Building Practices for Northern Facilities created by the GNWT and the Best Practices Guide for the Construction of Transportation Infrastructure on Permafrost, created in collaboration with the Transportation Association of Canada, are important adaptive tools. Along with investments in permafrost modeling as well as risk adaptation and vulnerability assets in our transportation infrastructure, we are gathering knowledge, creating best practices, are building new infrastructure to reflect this. Adapting to how we plan for infrastructure and where we build infrastructure is also important. The NWT Housing Corps and wherever possible other government departments do not build in areas where severe soil erosion is known to occur, and it's been done in the past, and I think today we feel some of the effects of it. We've had buildings built in areas where they shouldn't have been, and now we're faced with some major repairs. While soil conditions are unknown, we rely on community members, other GNWT departments, inspections, and geotechnical report to help us to help guide us and best plan for the challenges that lie a few feet under the surface. Key to all of these mitigation adaptation strategies is collaboration and partnerships. Through partnerships like Transport Canada's network of expertise on permafrost, permafrost scientists and engineers in Canada and the United States, along with the territorial and federal governments, are working together to tackle permafrost challenges. Most recently, this permafrost network has taken on developing a signature project focused on the effects of changing permafrost on the Dempster-Inuvik to Tuktoyakta Highway corridor, which I'm sure will serve all three communities in our territories for years to come. Bringing together scientists, academics, practitioners, and governments to develop solutions to the challenges we face is why workshops like this permafrost conference are so important. We can share and learn from advances in other important areas of research, such as the Northern Infrastructure Standardization Initiative, and start figuring out how to apply what we learn to build sustainable infrastructure on permafrost. The Northwest Territories is choosing an adaptive approach to climate change because its effects are here to stay and require more than just mitigation measures. We know that any future adaptation activities will require working together to strengthen our understanding and knowledge of the best practices to meet these challenges. It is my sincere hope that this pan-territorial permafrost workshop will strengthen the partnership and our infrastructure goals rely upon as we work together to find solutions for our permafrost challenges. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words on this, and I wish you the best on the workshop that you're having the next couple of days. And as Michael said, hopefully it'll be an opportunity to network, share some knowledge, and something that we can use in the future to help lessen the impact of climate change. Thank you very much.